This week's Community Talk is brought to you by Ward Petroleum Corporation, listed in the top 100 fastest growing companies in America, extracting value where others cannot. 234-3229.
Hi, and welcome to Community Talk. I'm Julie Nelson with Hospice Circle of Love. We're a not-for-profit organization that's been serving the community for 30 years. We take care of terminally ill folks in their home or nursing home, helping them to make every day count. Today we want to tell you about an upcoming event. It's our Tree of Life celebration, which is going to be held December 8th at 3 o'clock out at the Gant Center at NOC. And with me today I have Rolf Carlston, one of our volunteers, who's going to be helping with the event. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you for inviting me, Julie.
Yes. And you've been involved with Tree of Life for many years with us. Why don't you explain to people a little bit about what it involves?
Well, we send out the invitations, and then they can make a pledge. I believe it's $25.
Yes.
I honestly haven't read the new invitation.
Yeah,
I did
it's
receive
$25.
it. And have the name of someone that they want to remember, or someone who's passed away. They want to have a memorial placed on the ornament. The ornament is then placed on the tree, and I believe it's 3 trees.
Yes.
We have 3 trees out there. The ornaments are hung on the trees. Then we have a service and refreshments on the 8th, and there's usually music.
Yes.
It's usually very nice. I find it a very pleasant experience. And then at the end, the families can go find their ornaments and remove them from the trees and keep them. We've had everything from little wooden trees to silver bells. I don't know what we'll have this year.
Well, this year they're going to be red and gold ball ornaments.
Okay.
And, of course, all of our patients that have passed away in the last year, we put on the tree automatically at no cost to the family.
Okay.
And then, like you said, anyone from the community, they don't have to have been served by hospice. They can put their loved one's name on an ornament.
And they wouldn't have to have received an invitation, would they? I mean, if
No.
they wanted to contact hospice, and we would see that they had the information they needed to make a donation.
Certainly. Yeah, they can come by our office at 314 South 3rd, or they can call us, and our phone number is 234, and it spells out CARE. So it's not too hard to remember. And you talked a little bit about the ceremony. We always have a short spiritual message, and we have different individuals that read all the names that are on the tree, and you're going to be helping with that.
Yes, I am. I should have remembered that, shouldn't I? I am, yeah.
And then I think one of our volunteers has a singing group, and I think she's going to be singing a couple of Christmas songs. And then, of course, the cookies are always nice at the end.
Yes, they are.
All of our volunteers make those, and we have a very great variety, and we'll have our punch. And then it's a good time for people to also visit with some of our staff members. You know, maybe one of our nurses or nurse aides that took care of their mom or dad or loved one, and they can kind of reconnect with them. So that's always nice as well, I think.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it's very pleasant.
Well, let's talk a little bit about some of the services that hospice provides, because the money from this will go to help patients. Of course, we have our nurses and aides, our chaplains, our social workers. We've got a music therapist, and then we have our volunteers that can help the patients and the families in a variety of ways. And since you are one of our volunteers, maybe you can share a little bit about that experience.
Well, the volunteers, my experience with volunteers is to go out and relieve the caregivers, give them an opportunity to, to do whatever they want to do. Some of them use it to go doctor's appointments for themselves, or to go shopping, or just to go out and get some relief from taking care of the patient. And I find it, as I've said before, a very rewarding job. My mother was a recipient of hospice, and my wife and I had 2 friends, high school friends, who passed away, who both received hospice care. I've never heard anyone who wasn't absolutely delighted with hospice care here or anywhere else. It's really a wonderful way to assure a person an opportunity to be at home and to have good care from until the end. And I'm trying to think if I think of anything unique, but it's just pretty much being available. And listening to, sometimes you get to visit with the patients if they're really alert. The patient enjoys it because they get to tell stories that their families have heard many times and probably don't pay much attention to, but here's a new person who's just all ears and willing and interested. And that's probably the most important, not important, that's not true, but the most interesting part of being a hospice volunteer is the variety of people, their life experiences, and the things they've done, the jobs they've done, and all that. I really enjoy it.
And in addition to all those services that we provide while the patient is alive, we also provide grief support for the family afterwards. And Tree of Life is really an extension of that because it's a memorial ceremony. And like I said, we'll read the names of all the patients and everyone that's being included in that. And I think it's a nice way for people to kind of include that loved one that they're missing in their holiday celebrations.
Yeah, it is. And we may have already said this, or I may have, but it's not just a memorial, but you can honor people in your family as well. You can make a living gift for a living member and make it in honor of that. They will be listed and their names will be read as well.
And we usually have around 500 names on the tree, which I think is really nice. I think the event has grown a lot over the years as more people have gotten involved in it.
My experience, again, has been very well attended. It's usually full when you get there. But there's lots of room. Is that the Gant Center, the same place? Yeah. And it's there's lots of room, plenty of seating, but there's a lot of people that come.
And, of course, when we read the names, we'll kind of break those up. We'll just read a third of them at a time, and then we'll break that up with the spiritual message and the music so that we're not reading them all at one time. And I think it moves along at a fairly good pace, and I think I remember that it lasts about an hour. So
that's probably about right.
And that probably even includes, having some cookies and I also want to let people know that they get to keep their ornament at the end, and they can pick those up actually that day at the ceremony when we get done.
And we generally decorate the tree somewhat in advance, don't we?
We'll do it on that Friday before the event.
On that Friday. But I guess the room isn't really available to the public to come out and see the trees beforehand. So,
they'll need to come to the event if they want to see their loved one's name on the tree. And a lot of times people will get there early and they'll look for their loved one's name.
Yeah, and that's a good point because even though we try our best to put the ornaments on the tree in an orderly way so the A's and the B's follow the A's and the C's, it's not a science. And frequently we have lots of ornaments and little tree. And that's when we get very creative. So if you don't see your name or the name of your loved one on there, don't give up.
That's right.
And you might even ask someone, because some of the volunteers that will be out there at the ceremony were there putting the names on the trees.
That's right.
But,
So we always help people look for their ornaments, and we always find them eventually. But yes, I think it's because the tree's circular and the branches are different sizes. And
and they get wider, and there's more branch on the bottom and less branch on the top.
And then also people can purchase a duplicate ornament with their loved one's name. Say that it was mom that passed away and there are 2 children. They can get an extra ornament so that both of the children can have one. And we just charge $10 for those.
Well, that's good. I didn't know that.
Yeah, and then they can pick those up that day as well. And then, of course, we have people that can't come to the ceremony that purchase the ornaments, and we'll let them pick those up at our office afterwards. So the office is open between 8:30 and 5, Monday through Friday. So that's when they can come pick those up. And our volunteers are going to be putting those ornaments together in the upcoming weeks, and I know that we really appreciate all the hard work that our volunteers do helping us with this event. You usually help us put the trees together.
Yeah, I have. I've helped prepare the ornaments, even though I'm kind of ham-handed. Tying those ribbons is not the easiest thing, but trimming the tree, putting the tree up, and getting the lights all to work. That's a big project, but it's worth it. I really enjoy it.
Yeah, and in addition to this being a memorial ceremony, which is extremely important, I think, to our families, as I mentioned, it is also a fundraiser, and that money does go to help our patients. Most of our money comes from Medicare or private insurance if the person has that benefit. But we're seeing more and more young patients, unfortunately, that might have cancer or something like that don't have Medicare. And we can use the money from the Tree of Life and our other events so that we can take care of them just equally to someone who has Medicare.
Yes, in fact, Sunday's Enid News and Eagle, if I'm not mistaken, had two major articles on hospice. And I urge people, if they still have it, go down to fish it out of the pile and be sure you read it. It just speaks volumes about the value of hospice and how far it has come and what a role it plays now in people's lives. I was just very impressed with what the paper did with those two articles. And I learned some things about hospice that I didn't know.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. So.
And, of course, as I said, we're celebrating 30 years, and that was what the article was about. And this is actually the 24th year that we've done Tree of Life. So that's been going on a long time as well.
Yeah.
I know the first year they did it, they had a really small tree and just a few names, and it's really grown a lot over the years.
Yeah, we have three trees now.
Yes, three trees.
Okay.
And
we may need 4.
We might.
Really, with all the ornaments.
Yeah.
So.
Someday. Well, Rolf, I want to thank you for coming and visiting with me today.
My pleasure.
Yeah. And we encourage everyone to purchase an ornament for the Hospice Circle of Love Tree of Life. The event is coming up on December 8th. It'll be at 3 o'clock out at the Gant Center out at NOC. And if you're interested in purchasing an ornament, you can come by our office at 314 South 3rd. You can also give us a call at 234-CARE. We also have some information on our website, which is hospicecircleoflove.com. Thank you.
Ho, 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 and welcome to another episode of Hope Outreach Update here at Community Talk at Pegasus. So thank you for joining us today. Matt and myself, we've got plenty to tell you what's going on at Hope Outreach. And as you can tell by the greeting, it is that season of greetings. And we want to talk about that a little bit. And we'll start off. Matt, here we go. It's not snowing yet,
Not yet.
but it's...
We're getting close. It's just a couple days away. We're forecast at this time for some cool weather and some precipitation. So.
Very good.
But we just wanted to come out and talk about what's going on. And I think one of the biggest topics of discussion is that you found your mustache this year to go along with your goatee.
Yeah.
So we wanted to... It looks nice. But anyway, in all seriousness, we do want to let everybody know as we record today, the home show is going to be starting pretty soon. That's going to be November 23rd and 24th, and we're going to be out there. They are gracious enough to give us a booth. So Hope Outreach will be represented out at the home show. Come on out, look for us. We'd love to talk to you about opportunities that we have at our ministries to volunteer, to possibly work. And if you need any help or need our ministries, we'd be glad to talk to you about that as well. But we'll be out at the home show again. That's going to be this coming Saturday, November 23rd.
That's right.
From 9 o'clock to 7 o'clock. Mm-hmm. And then on the 24th, 11 o'clock to 5 o'clock. That's Sunday, November 24th. So just wanted to let everybody know that. Hopefully we'll catch them for that this weekend. And at our booth there, we'll be talking to people. Like I mentioned before, we do have opportunities for employ. We have a lot of opportunities to use our ministries for those who are in need. That's what we're here for. But also, and we've talked about this for multiple months now, but we have multiple opportunities for volunteerism.
Yes.
Just a lot of opportunity. You kind of let us know what works for you, and we'll try to fit you in to where you can either fit in and plug in at our parenting ministry. We need mentors there constantly. Ladies and gentlemen who can take on clients and mentor them, just kind of walk them through a video curriculum that we have and just build that relationship. That's one of the biggest things, and guide them through. We have a lot of people who don't have anybody who can speak wisdom into their lives, and they're seeking that. So it's a wonderful opportunity for a mature Christian to be able to mentor somebody at our parenting ministry. We'd love for them to stop by, and that's 815 Broadway, or they could call 237-2292 for our parenting ministry. Then we also have, of course, our homeless ministry. Multiple opportunities there as well, just to stop in, to talk to somebody, to hear their story. You know, we have people there who work there and pray with the folks and pray for the folks, but it's nice to see somebody else who just stopped in and wants to show that they care. Maybe play a game of checkers. Maybe, like I said, just to talk to them and say, hey, what's your story? Where are you at? What do you need? Where are you trying to go? You know, there's a lot of that. Just to be able to come in and do that.
We have just listening to you, Doc. I'm curious whether or not any of these oil field and business that we've got going on around here, if we've seen any new people from that industry.
We have, Lee. That's a good question. And predominantly what we've seen in that is folks will come in out of town. Now, if I were to move to a new town, I would go scope it out, probably have the house that I'm ready to rent, have it all planned out, and have that done. That's just the way I was taught, the way I was raised.
Yeah.
But some people haven't had that, and they've kind of come into town looking for a job, even got the job, but they didn't plan ahead, and they don't have a place to stay. They don't have any connections or anything else. They got a job, but now they don't have any of that supporting thing. So we have had some coming in, and fortunately, we've been able to help them sustain and give them that place to shower, get their clothes washed, and kind of help them through while they're looking for that place. And we even help them, Sandy and Leland help them, find that housing a lot of times and be able to work with them in that way.
And we collaborate with a lot of other agencies too.
Oh, absolutely. And we're so thankful. This town does such a good job. So many of the other nonprofits and agencies work very well together. I would say most all of them work really well, and I'm thankful that we have that relationship, and they reach out to us as well, and we're able to help.
Excellent.
That way, we try not to duplicate services, but we're able to support each other.
Yeah, anything to support our community, and it's a pretty strong network, actually.
Yeah, and a lot of good people that we're thankful to be able to work with.
I call them cream of the crop.
That's right. We got a lot of cream. But then, of course, we also have our thrift store, which is a big machine. I mean, we get a lot of product donated, which we're so thankful for, and we ask that people continue to donate those things, and then we have a lot of people come through and purchase it. But it means that we have to receive it, and we have to look through it, make sure that it's safe, make sure that it's still usable, not broken things. Some things we can recycle, some things we just are able to sell, and unfortunately there are items that we have to throw away. They just aren't, they're damaged, or nobody would want those.
I posted something to that effect in regards to teddy bears today. We have a phenomenal amount of teddy bears, all sizes, shapes, colors, and dressed and costumed. But the thing of it is, we put the best of what we have out there on the shelves. So when you come shop Hope Outreach, you see the best stuff that we have. Sometimes we can do a little bit of touch-up, clean up, and we can do a little sanitizing, and all of our stuffed animals, you get the best we can give you out there. And a lot of times they're like brand new.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Especially the big ones.
Nice, yeah.
And the little beanie babies stuff. But that process holds true on everything that we display in the thrift store.
Right.
We give you the best.
And in doing that, it takes a lot of labor. So we have quite a few hired folks, and that's a proud thing that we're able to provide a lot of jobs and opportunities for folks who don't don't really have that opportunity to get employed in other areas. So we're thankful for that. But again, volunteerism is a much needed thing. So folks either helping us receive, we could use eventually volunteer cashiers. So folks who want to ring people up, and if they want to do that kind of thing, if they just like to straighten things up in the store, just kind of working with that. If you like building displays and working with clothes and kind of showing out your artistic side as far as that goes. We've talked about it before. A lot of ladies like to have their husbands rearrange the furniture in their living room and do that. Well, we do that every day. So
All day long.
all day long. So somebody wants to come in and kind of help, not you having to do it, but kind of pointing out to some of our folks that are moving the furniture where you think it would look good, and if you have a good eye for that, we need people to do that. Just greeting people and thanking them, handing out donation receipts. There's just a lot of different areas. We have a ton of books. If you're a book lover, we have one volunteer right now who kind of helps and works in our books, and then our employees have to maintain them. We get a phenomenal amount of books, which we're so happy to be able to get those recycled and reread and to get those out into the public again instead of just getting them thrown away or stored on a shelf someplace. So those come through, and I don't know how many times we might have sold the same book. We talk about that sometimes, which is a good thing. It's a wonderful thing. But just sorting those, getting those where they're supposed to be in their areas would be a wonderful thing to do. If somebody had a little extra time and like to serve in that way, it'd be wonderful. So if they wanted to call 237-4673, ask for Lee, and he'll get you kind of set up. And
Are you putting it on me?
Oh man, well you're the volunteer coordinator, so and kind of get them hooked up in the right place of where their spiritual gift is or what their gifting is, what they'd like to do, and then we can kind of get them kind of in that area. So
Excellent.
Wonderful opportunity. So we'll be talking to people about that out at the home show and anytime. So if you stop by the thrift store, that's where our main offices are located. We'd love to talk with you about those type of things. So
Very good. And talking about our thrift store, our employees that we hire, that's a whole other ministry that we have that doesn't get talked about that much. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
I'd love to. That's one of the best kept secrets that I don't want to be a secret in our town is our thrift store ministry. Again, as I've mentioned many a times, it's 90 to 95% of the funding that allows Hope Outreach to basically be independent and not federally funded in any way. We do have some churches and individuals who give us donations as well, cash donations, which is a wonderful blessing and help. But 90 to 95% of our funding for all the ministries comes through the sale of donated goods in our thrift store. So again, thank you for the donations. Without those, we couldn't operate. But that being said, as I mentioned earlier, we provide jobs for a lot of people who couldn't get jobs previously. And we're talking about people who have gotten they had a felony. When you fill out an application, and for some they haven't filled out an application in a long time, but there's a little box on almost every application that says, check here if you've had a felony. Well, there's a reason why, and a lot of places will not hire anyone if they've had a felony, and that's their corporate policy that they don't hire, that way. And I can't speak for every organization, but I know there are quite a few. Yeah. So I've had a lot of people in my office thanking me profusely that we're giving them an opportunity to work. And what we do with that is then we do go around, and I've gone around to different organizations or different companies and said, if we can give them a good recommendation that they've been a solid employee for us for a while, would you kind of look past that checked box? And I've got a lot of positive feedback from that from a lot of companies, and we've had some of those folks be able to move on. So that's a wonderful part of the ministry.
So how many do we have on our staff?
I can think of at least 3 or 4 right now, but previously I know that we've had upwards of 10 to 15 out of the ones that we have.
We have about staff about 25 in the production area.
In the production area, it's about 25 to 30.
And they work
They work.
They move
very
mountains.
hard. Yes,
I've
they
seen
do.
the mountains moving.
Yeah.
We're talking tons of stuff,
Yeah.
mountain moving.
We really appreciate what they do and the effort that they put forth, and especially when we're getting ready for some really cold weather. We've gotten through some really hot weather, so I appreciate what they do, and but it gives them an opportunity, and we're giving people opportunities to be productive again, and that's a good feeling to be able to get back out there, and it's good for our community that we have folks that. If they don't have a job, then they're not going to have a lot of choices. And if some of the bad choices they made before, you limit what they have, then they're going to maybe make that bad choice again. So again, as I like to say, success builds success. So the more success that they can taste, that's hopefully what we see in their lives.
Okay.
But we do have also, beyond that, we have 3 people on staff right now who came to us and they were homeless. We found them, they found us through the homeless ministry, and we gave them an opportunity to work, and now those folks have a place to stay.
Awesome.
And are again tax-paying citizens. I don't know how much they enjoy tax-paying, but they are tax-paying citizens and working again, and back in there and getting back up on their feet, and that's another big part of our ministry. We also have some folks who've had kind of chronic illnesses and have kind of really had a checkered work history because of that, and it's been hard for them to get back in and get a job because of their past. So again, giving them opportunities, and I'd like to say that every one that we give is a home run. Sometimes we give them a chance and they still don't really take that opportunity, but we've been able to give a lot of people, especially. I've only been there about 3.5 years, but I know we've been open a lot longer than that. Over 20 years, 22 years, Hope Outreach has been around. So a lot of people have had opportunity to get back up on their feet, and we've had a lot of good success stories through that.
All right, we got a couple of minutes left. Can you tell us a little bit, enlighten the public, the viewers out there, exactly what some ideas about how Hope Outreach is impacting the community?
Well, yeah, I'd like to talk a little bit about that, and just some people are numbers people, and I've got some numbers, but just talking about our parenting ministry, number one, since our parenting ministry has started, we've had over 300 babies born through our program, and that basically means that when the ladies came to us, they were pregnant, they got the education to have a healthy pregnancy, and those babies were born while those ladies were and couples were in our program.
And how much do these people pay for that?
Zero.
Zero.
It's free. It's completely free. It's paid for through our ministries and out of the ministry budget. So
and you folks out there helped us do that.
Absolutely.
That was a partnership. And what else we're doing?
Oh, well, we also have and not all of our clients are pregnant when they come to us. They've already had the child, or they might have multiple children, but they need help in learning how to parent because they didn't have maybe that model to parent to teach them. But we've had over probably about close to 1,200 clients total that we've been able to serve through our parenting ministry.
Awesome.
And to be able to do that. And already...
That's 1,200 families.
That's 1,200 families, and that's at least 1,200 young lives that are affected, and hopefully change the legacy of that family
Poverty
line.
Cycle poverty, or poverty of... Hello, cycle of poverty.
Cycle of poverty, yeah.
I forgot how to pedal that one.
Either way. And then, as we've talked about before with our homeless ministry, we have community care ministry within that. But we've been able to help, just since 2010, 58 people get IDs, birth certificates that they need, that they help them through that process, and also help them through the financial portion of getting an ID. And we've been able to help 363 families with utility bills. That means that we've been able to help them keep that electricity on, or the water on, or something like that.
Gas.
Over 1,000 people have been helped with gasoline, fuel that they needed to be able to get to the city or get to wherever they need to get to. We've helped over 1,400 people be able to do their laundry. So, just really over 3,063 visits this year. Just this year up until November we've had over September was the statistics on that, 3,063 3,063 visits to our homeless ministry that we've had
How
people
many?
come. 3,063 visits to our homeless ministry this year so far.
Wow.
Up to September.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Well, thank you for joining us today. I've got some friends here just to let you know that you can find almost anything you need for Christmas at a Hope Outreach thrift store. Don't forget that when you shop at Hope Outreach thrift store, you're supporting our ministries here in Enid, Oklahoma. Thank you again for watching us on another Hope Outreach update here on Pegasus Community Talk. God bless you.
Hello and welcome to another segment of Community Talk. Very happy to be here today representing March of Dimes and one of our big events coming up. I'm also really happy, most of y'all know me, I'm Janet Cordell, I'm a nurse. I've been involved with March of Dimes for I don't know how many years, too many years to count. But I'm very pleased to have today as a special guest, Kennette Craig. I got her name right, I almost called her Kennette Ronk because that's what I've known her as. Kennette is a dietitian, and we're real fortunate to have her on the board of directors of March of Dimes because for a number of different reasons, partly because she's a dietitian, but also because of her experiences. And Kennette, you've been in, now this is your first year to really be deeply involved with Breakfast with Santa, right?
Yes. My husband and I were involved in March of Dimes in Oklahoma City and Edmond area before we moved here. We moved here a year and a half ago and got involved, of course, right away. We've had a team and have done the walks in Oklahoma City. And, of course, Stephanie Sochek, who knew that I was involved and recruited me in on the board of directors, and I'm really glad to be a part of that. So it's a great organization.
And I think one of the reasons you got involved in Oklahoma City and here as well is because you had some special interest in the mission of the March of Dimes.
We did. In 1998, I gave birth to my oldest son, Caleb, and he was born between 30 and 31 weeks, early, premature. And then 2 years later, we had Will in 2000, and he was born between 33 and 34 weeks. And we are just really grateful for all the research that goes into the treatment and prevention of preemies, and we're grateful for the surfactant therapy that's involved. That March of Dimes funds, and my husband and I, it was a really difficult time with my pregnancies and deliveries, and it was something that's very special to our hearts, and we wanted to give back, and it was a great opportunity to get involved and raise money, and we feel very confident where the money goes in the research and what they're doing. 88 cents for every dollar raised in Oklahoma stays in Oklahoma for the research and prevention. And education involved, and all about getting these babies here healthy and full term, and we're just grateful for that. So it's something that my husband and I feel like we can give back.
And that is so great because when I've been so passionate about March of Dimes for years because I worked for a number of years with pregnant women and with newborn babies, and have certainly seen also, not as firsthand as you have, but have seen also the benefits that March of Dimes have presented. Babies nowadays, babies the size of your babies in late 90s, early 2000, in the 80s or before, they probably wouldn't, at least the older one would not have lived.
No, and statistically speaking, we did hear a lot of really sad statistics. I started labor with my second one at 20 weeks, so of course we were in the hospital off and on. And we did hear some of those alarming statistics, and it was quite scary. And we're just really grateful for the technology, because we could even see a difference between Caleb and Will in that 2.5 years.
Yeah.
So in 2000, they could test his surfactant even before he was born, which was not available for Caleb. And so we did that, and it was just a great thing. He was strong. They got, of course, Will went 3.5 weeks longer, and it just made quite a difference. And my husband and I just feel very strongly we want that opportunity, and we want that research to continue for these babies. And of course, my dad delivered babies for years here, And so it's just a really special place in our entire family's hearts, and we're just really, really grateful to be involved with March of Dimes.
And so in the spring, in April, we have Walk for Babies. It used to be Walk America, but now I'm trying to remember MFB, March for Babies.
March for Babies.
Yeah, but
That's
what
right.
we're really here today to talk about is that goes along with the mission. We need to raise money, obviously.
That's right.
But
That's
we
right.
need to raise awareness. And so in addition to Walk for Babies, our next big fundraiser is BWS, Breakfast with Santa.
Breakfast with Santa.
And that is coming up when?
That is. It is December the 7th, Saturday, and it starts at 9 a.m. It's at the Enid High Cafeteria.
Which is where it has been for the last couple of years.
Yes, and this is the 15th anniversary for that, so we're real excited about that. And you come in on the east entrance of Enid High Cafeteria, and that's where you'll enter. It starts at 9 and it ends at 12:30. Lots of great things going on.
Now, the idea part of that started this is the kids are going to come and have breakfast with Santa.
That's right.
So you can have breakfast, which consists of what?
We're going to have pancakes and sausage and fruit, all the great food groups.
See, especially with Connect
and juice,
involved as the dietitian, we got to have fruit this year.
That's right. That's right. We've got to have that extra vitamin C. So we have the kids come in and have breakfast, and right now we're offering a special deal where you get a bracelet for $15.
Right. And in addition, let me just say while we're talking about food.
Yes.
Because you can choose with that bracelet one or the other.
That's right.
If you come early, you can have breakfast.
That's right.
If you decide to come a little later in the morning, then you can have lunch, which I think is pizza. Is that right?
They're having pizza, and if you choose to stay for both, which is great if you're there the whole morning, because a lot of times those kids are going to have a lot of things to do, because we have inflatables and all sorts of great things. And of course, Santa, of all, he's taking time out of his busy schedule to be here, which is great. And Mrs. Claus is going to be here too, so we're really excited about that. If you are here the whole morning, you can choose breakfast or lunch with your bracelet purchase. If you choose not to do that but stay for lunch, it's $1 a slice per slice of pizza, and you're welcome to have that. In that bracelet, it also includes a photo with Santa Claus. So it's your entrance fee to all the booths, which there's going to be gingerbread houses that they're going to do.
It's unbelievable the number of things. The kids go home with armloads
That's
of
right.
stuff.
That's right. Face painting.
Yeah. Now, are they going to have, what they've done in the past, picture-wise, is also have pictures with the Vance.
We are.
They bring a little flight suit. That was my grandson's love that.
We are going to get a picture with a pilot, and that's really exciting. And we also have, of course, which I think was always my boy's favorite, which is the inflatables, which I think is a great deal. Yeah. So they've got that. So your bracelet actually gives you breakfast or lunch, access to all the booths, and then your photograph with Santa Claus and Mrs. Claus.
And with the pilots.
And the pilots.
Yeah.
So it's all exciting.
You really,
lots
for $15, where else can you do anything like that?
And the other great thing that I'm real excited about is for $15, you can get some of your Christmas shopping done, which is so great while the kids are all being entertained.
Because we have all this stuff for the kids, but what do we have for the adults?
We've got a silent auction, which is really neat. And in this auction, I've got my cheat sheet here to let you know a few of the items. In the adult silent auction, we have Tulsa shop tickets with an autographed basketball. We have a birthday party at Devon's Skating Arena, that's really exciting. Tickets for that Elevation Trampoline Park in Oklahoma City. My boys have been there and really like that. That's a lot of fun. And birthday party at the Enid Convention Center right here locally. And then we also have just another item is 2 tickets to the OU Texas basketball game. So lots of great things in the silent auction.
I will tell you, I do a lot of my Christmas shopping.
Lots of great gift baskets, lots of great donations from local stores and local businesses. We've had some donations from them, so we're real excited about that. And if you would like to purchase your bracelet early, if you do not want to wait until that morning, you can call the March of Dimes office at 580-278-2921. if you want to do that.
Right.
But we're really excited about it. We've been
yeah.
working really hard on it, and I think the kids are really going to have a great time. They always do.
Oh, they do. They do.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we have a number of volunteers that are regular volunteers every
That's
year,
right.
but we always need more.
That's
don't
right.
we? It's a wonderful place for a lot of your different youth groups,
Yes.
whether it's FCCLA, Scouts, whatever.
Yes, Honor Society. I know we
yeah.
have a couple Honor Societies coming.
Service clubs.
And we really need help that Friday night, but we also need help that Saturday morning. And if you are interested in getting your groups involved, go ahead and call the March of Dimes office at that 278-2921.
Super.
And that would be great. And we'll sure plug
Now,
them in. And
real quickly, because we're going to start winding down in a minute. See, I told you that 15 minutes would go fast.
It does. It does. It goes really
This
fast.
is Canette's first time to do this
Yes.
here. So tell me about sponsorship. Do you know right offhand who some of our major sponsors
I
are?
do have that. Let me, I do have that in my little
Okay.
March of Dimes notebook real quick.
We always have to kind of mention our sponsors.
I think I've got that somewhere. I know we've had some local sponsors in town donate money, but I think the most that we've had has come from them donating baskets and different things.
Yeah,
but we
yeah.
do have some financial donations as well.
And that's okay if we don't.
We'll
I mean,
have
we
that.
don't have
We will
major
have-
sponsors. It will, and
Yes.
we'll run an ad in the paper.
We will,
afterwards
and that's
stuff.
all going to be listed
Yeah.
in the paper.
Right.
And I think it'll be listed on the shirts as well, and
Good.
in
Okay.
and available there for advertisement during the
Super,
event.
super.
So
Well, we
we're
certainly
excited.
thank everybody
Yeah.
for
We appreciate
the
it so much.
donations
This
and
community really wraps themselves around
they
March of
really do.
Dimes.
They
and
really do.
We're really grateful
Well, I mean,
for
who
that.
cannot support babies?
We all wanna save babies, that's
we all
right.
we all want to save them. We all want to make them healthier.
That's
We
right.
all want to do all the things that we can. And that is one of the. I serve on the Metro Commission, and that's one of our long-range plans for this year and next year is to really focus on families, early childhood,
Yes.
children, babies. We still have an extremely high rate of preemies and
Yes.
of early births and, of low birth
Well,
weight babies in Garfield County.
And with all the talk with healthcare, $55,000 is the cost for a premature baby versus $4,300.
Yeah.
So when you're looking at that, and your dollar with March of Dimes really goes a
Really
long
does
way.
go.
It
It does.
really
It
does.
does.
So great investment.
As we really do wind down, once again, we're talking about
Breakfast with Santa, December the 7th, 9 to 12:30, Enid High Cafeteria. Stay, have fun, food, fun, Santa Claus, Mrs. Claus, inflatables, silent auction.
everything
Great
you
time.
could want for to get the season started with the kids.
A
So
fun way to raise money for a good cause.
absolutely, that's well put. And thank you all so much. Thanks, Canette, for
Thank you,
coming
Jan.
and joining us. And thank you all for joining us too.
Hello and welcome to Community Talk. My name's Troy Cowley. I'm Community Relations Coordinator for OG&E, and my guest today is Susan Harkness, Brand Manager for OG&E Energy Corp. Welcome to Enid, Susan.
It is so great to be with you, Troy. Always enjoy seeing you and love the drive coming up. It was just a great day.
Yeah, wonderful day. Susan, we're going to talk about several things with OG&E here, but there's this program called the 2020 that leads us into the other programs. Can you describe the 2020 plan?
2020 was a vision of our CEO, Pete Delaney, back in 2008. And it really became clear that we were going to get into a position as a company and serving our customers that we may have to build another power plant. And I think what we decided was, let's see if we can live within our generation means. And in doing so, that means that we had to use things and do things more efficiently. That's OG&E actually managing its operations more efficiently, and it's asking our customers to use energy more wisely.
Great. Well, we just mentioned there's several programs we're going to talk about, and I guess since this morning's temperature was 26 degrees, what better topic to get into other than weatherization? So let's talk about weatherization. We have a program
for seniors and for programs for like me. So would you please tell us about those programs?
Absolutely. Well, if you woke up this morning and your house felt drafty or you have some cold spots in your house, that means that your house is leaking energy. And that means that the heat in your house is escaping, the cold air is getting in, and then conversely in the summer, the cool air is getting out and the hot summer is getting in. And so weatherization fundamentally is the idea of making your home more energy efficient and more comfortable. That's the end result when you do weatherize. So some of the key things in OG&E's program is to qualify for free $1,500 worth of energy savings and improvements. You have to make less than $50,000 a year gross income. It doesn't matter if you're a senior citizen or you're just getting started in your career and you're a young person, but anyone that meets that financial criteria is eligible. It doesn't matter if you own your home, rent your home, live in a mobile home or a duplex. All of that is available to be considered and to qualify for. So what do you get if you do qualify? First of all, attic insulation is probably one of the first places OG&E looks. A lot of energy escapes through the roof. And after that, we look at sealing all of the windows and doors. A lot of air gets out through the windows. A lot of people want to replace their windows, like that's what they think the solution is. But oftentimes it's just a simple bead of caulking can actually make all the improvement that they need. Other things like energy efficient lighting, if the CFLs, the ones that are kind of squiggly, those are great, but also right now people are moving more towards LED. Those LED burn cooler, and at the same time they use about 90% less energy than a typical incandescent bulb. So making typical energy improvements like that can lower your electric bill, and it can improve the comfort of your home. Now, for folks like us that don't meet those qualifications, OG&E has the Home Energy Efficiency Program. We call it HEAP for short. And you call in and ask to get on that program. It's a free service. OG&E will come out when the temperature is at least 70 degrees or higher. They'll service your air conditioner, and they'll seal the plenum, which is the connection between your unit and your home. We have found there's about 20% energy loss right there. They'll seal those for you to make that real efficient. Okay. And that's about a normal HVAC call is about $75. So that's an easy $75 you can keep.
Yeah, that's a tremendous savings. And I'd like to reiterate what Susan was talking about here. This is a free program, so don't be embarrassed to think that, I can't afford this, because this is free.
Absolutely. And in fact, OG&E is got a quota that we are actually trying to get customers to call us so that we can meet some of the efficiency goals that we have. And remember back to the 2020 vision, the plan that we have. We're trying to help customers save energy so that we don't have to build that power plant. And this is one way to make your homes perform better.
Good. Well, Susan, we brought with us today a HEAP program kit that our auditors do give the customers and everything. Would you please describe what they're getting?
Right. So after we do our work, we leave you this, and what it has in it is enough materials, which is weather stripping, caulking, insulation around your plugs, and it allows you to do some of that work yourself. It's very simple to do, and you'll see immediate results when you do it. Great.
We'll put this out of the road. I might remind customers that you can call for the HEAP program or the weatherization program at 1-800-272-9741. This is Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. You can ask for either one of the weatherization programs.
That's right. Absolutely. And we please encourage you to call. Some of the weatherization, there is a process there to qualify for that, and people are calling in, so get your name in there so you can get some of that free service.
Yeah, and I understand there might be on some of these maybe a little bit of waiting time because we have to get into the 70-degree temperature on some of these and stuff?
Right. Most of the home energy efficiency program, we're taking the information and putting people in a queue when the temperature warms up, which might be late February if we're lucky, or March for sure. They'll start and recontact you for an appointment.
Oh, great, great. Well, this year in Enid, Northwest Oklahoma, we were able to take care and connect into the Smart Hours, Smart Grid program. And my family and I did, and we saved right at $400 during that time. So it was very good. My wife seemed to think I could save more, but anyhow.
I'm sure you could if you really tried hard.
Overall, how do customers sign up for this program?
Well, you know, we were so excited to bring the Smart Hours price plan program to Enid once we got all the smart meters installed in the city. And with that, I think Enid customers had their first summer this past summer. So right now we have about 85,000 customers system-wide that have signed up for the program, and literally everyone is saving money. If people are generally pretty efficient to begin with, they may not see quite the jump, but for those that can make some improvements or improvements in their home, they're going to see immediate savings reflected with Smart Hours. And remember that Smart Hours is a price plan, so you have to sign up for it. It's volunteer. And so OG&E has an online program that you can go in and just type in your account and sign up, or you can call us with it and we'll do it. Now here's the real trick to it though, is be sure you get the free $300 thermostat. This thermostat is not your run-of-the-mill thermostat. It has been specifically designed to work with the Smart Hours pricing program. So one of the features of this particular thermostat is that you're actually going to see the price of electricity at any given time on that thermostat. The other great thing about it is that it programs in very short increments of time. So where a lot of thermostats are morning, afternoon, and evening, or maybe on the hour, this one is every 15 minutes. And once you get it set to fit your lifestyle, if you come home at 5:15, you can start cooling your house down 30 minutes in advance. It's very responsive. It's easy to use, but it will actually create a significant amount of additional savings for you because it does all the work for you.
That's good. Susan, overall, how many customers in the OG&E area has signed up for this Smart Hours?
Well, we had two goals, or we have a 3-year goal. It's a total of 120,000 customers. As of the end of the Smart Hours season this year, which ended September 30th, we're right at 85,000. So we're well on our way to making our goal. And at the same time, this goal translates into what we call load shed. In other words, what we're doing is trying to shed demand for electricity during the highest peak demand times, which is 2 to 7 Monday through Friday. And the great thing about this program, Troy, is that if you work and you do a lot of your chores in the evening or on the weekends, you're going to be running appliances like your dishwasher, your washer and dryer, literally for half price. So nickel power is what OG&E gives our customers when they help reduce the demand during the peak hours. This is also good on the holidays, so like for 4th of July, Memorial Weekend, Labor Day weekend, you're actually entertaining all your guests using electricity and cooling your home for half the cost. So it's a great program, and I think that's why people are really embracing it, because it is having so much success.
That's good. That's good. Well, this program goes from June 1st to September 30th. Mm-hmm. It's going to be an every year program. You know, we're out of that cycle right now. We're into November. Can people still sign up for it right now? And why should they sign up right now?
Well, the program is available to sign up year-round. One of the real reasons to sign up right now, if you haven't, is our schedule, just like anything that ramps up for spring, is much more customer friendly in terms of when you want us to come out there. So make your appointment, meet us out there at your home. We will go ahead and put the thermostat in, and we can do it on your timeline.
Good. That's great. Susan, we talked about the Smart Grid, and the people can sign up for My OGE Power. Can you give us just a little information on that?
Well, MyOG Power is this really cool tracking tool. It's free. You just go to myogpower.com, put your account number in, and that smart meter on your home will download all of this information real time about how your home is using energy. So it's everything from being able to understand what your bill not only is at the moment, but what it's going to be at the end of your billing cycle. It's going to help you understand how to save. And if you aren't on Smart Hour price plan right now, you can actually do a comparison between what you're paying now and what you would save and pay if you were on Smart Hours. So I encourage everyone to do it. It's very simple, and it's I think you'll be hooked once you get on it. It's it's a great way to keep track of what's going on at home when you're not there.
Yes, it is. Well, let's say we have a customer that's on Smart Hours, and they've hooked up from MyOG Power, and all of a sudden they move to a new residence. Does this follow them to the new residence, or do we start all over again?
Well, remember that the electricity account belongs to the home. And so, yes, when you move, you have to call back in, sign back up, and if the home that you're moving into doesn't have a thermostat, which it may very well have one, you won't need that, but if you do, we'll come out and put another one in for you.
Well, great. Well, those are some good programs. I know we've got a couple more to talk about here, and our time's getting a little short, but I want to get them in because they're very important programs. We have a lighting program at OG&E, and then we have a commercial industrial energy efficiency program. Can you tell us a little bit about these programs?
Well, real quickly, all schools and everyone is watching their budgets. OG&E has a rebate program which can not only improve the efficiency and the quality of the comfort of the building, but you're going to get a rebate check from us, and that's going to help you do something else that you'd like to do with that business of yours. So lighting is one of the key initiatives that we have, and also things related around motors, and HVAC, things like that use a lot of power. So we absolutely encourage you to call our commercial division, have them come out, look at what you've got going on in your place of business or public facility, and let's see if we can't save you some money.
Well, you were telling me just a minute ago one of our colleges got a great savings. Can you elaborate on that? I know of another one, too.
I am so proud of Oklahoma State University because they've been working with us on their sustainability initiative. They went in and updated a 1940s chiller with motors and new chillers, and we handed them a rebate check for $289,000. And we did it at game time the other day at the last game because it was just one of the largest checks we've ever done. But it's a great testimony to how a university like OSU is really taking a leadership role and showing young people you've got to be responsible about energy, we've got to make improvements, and when we do, everybody wins.
Oh, that's great. Well, I know here in Enid that we've had Jeffco here in Enid. We've gave them a little over $54,000. O'Reilly's, around $1,500. McKinley School here in Enid, we've done a rebate to them of about $900 for the lighting and stuff. So this has turned out great. Well, the last thing, I know we've got a contest going on. That's right. And it's between your school, which Susan's an OU grad, and I went to OSU. And it's a WIN program. Let's end up with that, Susan.
So the fan power contest is, go to oge.com, register for the contest, pledge your WIN power to the school of your choice, and at the December 7th game, when we meet up in Stillwater, OG&E is going to award the school with the most fan power. So it's a great way to get involved in wind energy. It's very inexpensive to be a part of it, $3.50 for 1,000 kilowatt hours. And embrace your schools because this is something that they believe in.
Well, that's great. Well, Susan, it's been a wonderful joy talking to you, telling our customers about what OG&E offers and everything. Folks, try these products out. They're great programs, great opportunities for you. And with that, Susan, thanks for coming to Enid, and we'll end Let's Talk.
That's right. And what we say at OG&E is let's do some positive energy together.
Yes, ma'am.